These are the mindset hacks that I have learned over the last almost decade of doing this job that are going to revolutionize your own mindset. Now, I'm a firm believer that our goals and our results are only as good as our mindset. So don't panic if you're like, Liv, my mindset's not good right now, because there are a lot of things you can do, and mindset is always going to shift and come and go. I've had periods where I think my mindset is pretty bulletproof. And I've had periods where a lot of things have happened and my mindset feels a little bit softer, even just month by month. Is my mindset the strongest over my period? No, I just want to curl up in a ball and do nothing and I'm in pain. So don't panic, but there are things you can do. So number one, the tyranny of small decisions. The small decisions, and I'm a firm believer of this, and the little actions you do and the little things you do actually bring the whole result. So what I mean by this is you're only as good as the small decisions that you make. So whether that small decision is making your bed each morning, or whether it's getting dressed properly for the day, or whether it's brushing your teeth for 2 minutes, or whatever the thing is, and the small decisions, your overall success and ability to do things is basically defined by this. So there's a firm believer that, if you get a millionaire or a super successful, poet laureate or whatever it might be, like someone that's at the top of their game, and you look at why they're successful, it will be the small things. Now, obviously, like luck and maybe finances or other things do get involved, but the little actions are what's going to build a success. And health and fitness this is huge for health and fitness, probably more than even building a business or any of those things. If you do the little things like drinking your water, taking your supplements, slowing down when you're eating, being more intentional, all those tiny things that don't feel that exciting, they will add up more than the big workouts you think you need to do, or the big week-long hikes you think you need to do, or these big fitness things that we like, the marathons or any of the big things. Those little small decisions that you make, that is what's going to define your success. And the more that you can worry about and just care about those tiny things, the better. We all know if we make our bed in the morning, most of our days go better. We all know that. And yet most of us don't. So being the kind of person that does make their bed and does do the little things right makes a huge difference. Now, as someone that is typically quite type B and also coaches a lot of clients with ADHD, I'm not saying this is easy for everyone, but it is something to be aware of, and just know that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you want to be successful and you want to be in the best shape of your life and feel confident in your skin, the little things do matter. The next one is adding, not subtracting. So looking at your life as a whole, looking at your diet, looking at your fitness, what can you add? So many of us, when we start like a fat loss phase or want to get in good shape or want to get abs or whatever the goal might be, we think about subtracting. We think about eating less, like working ourselves to the bone. We think about like taking away things from our life, taking away alcohol, taking away the fancy coffee. Focus on what you can add. Can you add more movement in your day? Can you add more water? Can you add more protein? Can you add more vegetables? Focus on the addition rather than the subtraction. Because don't get me wrong, if you want to lose a lot of weight, or if you've got a big goal, or you want to get shredded, there will be some sacrifice. And I'm not saying you can necessarily successfully do those things without sacrifice, but actually putting it back and just saying, okay, I'm not going to focus on that part. I'm going to focus on adding in some bike rides with my family, or adding in going to the park more times so I get more steps in, or adding in my daily dog walk, or whatever it might be, or adding more water. Again, the things that you can add rather than focusing on the things you're taking away. Next one is the next best choice rule. So many of us will go, oh, I'm so tired, and everyone else around us is getting a takeaway, we'll just get a takeaway. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, and we're all human, but I just want you to change that thought pattern of, oh, fuck it, or oh, F it, whatever you want to say, and just think, what is the next best choice? If the best choice is a homemade meal, getting out some salmon, making your own dinner, but you're exhausted and that's just not realistic, and everyone else around you is going for pizza, maybe the next best choice is to get pizza, but it's to only eat half the pizza and get a side salad. Or maybe the next best choice is to go and get that ready meal in your freezer, because at least it's a bit more controlled and a bit more helpful towards your goals than a Domino's. What is the next best choice? Because you don't have to be perfect. And this is where people go wrong. So many of our clients are perfectionists. They're very all or nothing. And then that is where you're going to fall into that danger zone of being too on and then too off. You want to find that balance of that medium part where actually there's a bit of flexibility and life isn't too controlled that you can't sustain it forever, but you are still always choosing the right things for your goals. So the next best choice. Maybe you can't get to the gym because your kid's ill or dog's ill or car's broken. What's the next best choice? Could you do a little home workout at home? Could you, I don't know, do some stretching, mobility at home? Could you just spend the day going for a long walk? Like, what is the next best choice if things aren't perfect? And then I also want you to look at the minimum standard you have for yourself. So I have minimum standards. My minimum standard is I will do 4 lots of exercise a week. Now, at the minute, that is running because I'm training for an ultra marathon. And some weeks I don't get all of the strength stuff I want to do as well, because my goal is 7 sessions a week. That is 4 runs, 3 strength training. Life is unbelievably busy at the minute, so my minimum standard is 4. And if I can get the rest, perfect. Minimum standards are helpful. My minimum standard is I meal prep twice a week and I just eat out of containers and I don't think about food. But that doesn't always happen. So, obviously I need to know what I can do if that isn't the case. So my minimum standard is at least eating 3 proper meals a day. And it might be that my snacks are a bit chaotic. It might be that not everything is perfect, but that is my minimum standard for myself. My minimum standard is 3 litres of water, which is quite a lot only because I'm tall and also I run a lot. So yours might be 1 litre, 2 litres. Obviously, if I drink more, perfect. If I get some electrolytes in, great. But my minimum standard for myself is 3 litres a day. And I think the biggest mindset shift you'll ever learn is that you need to be kinder to yourself. Now, when I say kinder, I don't mean lenient. Kinder to yourself is sometimes telling yourself that you're not doing a good enough job. Sometimes it's telling yourself that you need to do better and push yourself more and show up for yourself more. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is think about your long-term goals as well as the short-term dopamine of getting something fun and rewarding and what you need to prioritize. So if I have a big goal, if I have a big photo shoot or fat loss phase or bodybuilding show, the kindest thing I can do to myself is to be hard on myself. It's to tell myself that I need to just show up and do it, that I don't give myself a choice. If my goal is more lifestyle or it's just a bit of balance at the minute or it's just maintaining, then the kindest thing might be to be lenient and say, okay, Liv, you're tired, take a chill day. Okay, Liv, you're hungry, you're a bit underfueled, go and get some pizza. There's no right or wrong with this. It is about the certain situation and the context of it, but be kinder to yourself. And again, sometimes that will look kinder and sometimes that will look harsher, but that is self-love and that is actually delaying gratification for future you. These are only a few little mindset shifts. I can do so many because I love talking about mindset stuff. If you find this valuable and educational, make sure you're subscribed, and links in my bio for more information on one-to-one coaching. I love changing women's mindsets, getting them loving themselves, getting themselves showing up for themselves like they do for everyone else, and most importantly, getting a life-changing result, feeling confident in their skin and keeping those results forever. And I give 2 educational videos out every single week, so make sure you're subscribed to get those every single week.